Lesson 4. Now we're going to work with assemblies today. To start, go to SolidWorks. Now for this, we need to finish the Tutor Assembly. And we need to do it by making Tutor 2, which is going to be the back part of the camera, here. Now that SolidWorks is loaded, we're first going to open Tutor 1 so we can get the dimensions needed to make Tutor 2. Open Tutor 1. And we'll go to Annotations, right click it, click Show Feature Dimensions. And now that we have the dimensions shown, let's minimize that and open a new part. So go to Front Plane, click Rectangle, automatically opens up Sketch, and we can build it. Go to Smart Dimension, and seeing the dimensions on Tutor 1 are 120, we'll make this 120. And then add the relation that goes between the two sides. Make them equal. Okay, so that's good. Click Exit Sketch. Now go to Extrude Boss Base. Select your sketch. Now set the dimensions to 90. Now click OK. Next we're going to fillet the corners. So go to Fillet or Fillet. And select the 4 outer edges. Here. Click OK. Okay, now with that set, we're going to create a little ledge. Now we're going to shell the part. So go back to your trimetric view, or isometric. Go to Features, Shell, select your front, go Normal 2, and set this to 4. Show the preview. Now click OK. I'll go back to isometric view. Go Extrude Cut. Select the front. Now we're going to go to Convert Entities. Select the front. Click OK. Now go to Offset Entities. On the front, go Reverse and set it to 2. Click OK. Now exit Sketch. Set it to 20. And enter. Save it as Tutor 2. Okay, now minimize that. And go New, Assembly, click OK. Put the pin in up top, put in Tutor 2 and Tutor 1, and click OK. Now go to Mate, and scroll in on this face here, and select it. And then select here. Make sure it's the coincident mate, that's the first one here, and click OK. Now on the edges here, select those. Again, make it a coincident. Deselect your first coincident mate. Now select the bottom planes, here and here. Make sure it's a coincident mate, and click OK. And then finally, do one between here and the Tutor 1 plane. And click OK. Make sure everything is fixed and looks as it should. Actually, for one last thing, do a coincident mate between this edge and this edge. Now it says it's defined, so undo. Oh, or not. So now select the two bottom edges. Alright. Okay, so that hasn't worked. Let's just go with the two planes. And click OK. Now, click OK to exit out. Make sure everything looks good, and save it. I'm going to save this as Tutor Assembly. Okay, and we're all set for that. Now, for the earlier switch plate we made, we need to assign two fasteners for it. Now the diameter, as seen in our packets, is 3.5 millimeters, and the switch plate is 10 millimeters deep. First things first, let's open up the switch plate. Here it is. Now, you may have it in other places, but this is the one I have found, and I will be using to demonstrate. So go to isometric view to start, and open up the annotations so you can see the dimensions. Now there you see. Now for this we need holes, so they're 4 millimeters, and actually they already have it done. But now if yours are anything larger or smaller, select them and you double click and you would change it. So I'm just going to put back in 4. Now click OK and minimize that. Or actually, yeah, minimize it. Now you can also close out all your tutors, clear up some space. So you know what, let's just make that smaller and go on. So now, go to New, Part, and using the dimensions shown on the next page will make our fastener. To start, select the front plane. And go extrude boss space. Make a circle and smart dimension it. Now this is going to be a 3.5 millimeter hole circle. Click enter and then zoom in. It's easier to see. Make sure you bring in your dimension too so it doesn't get lost. Now with that fully seen, click OK and exit sketch. Now this is going to be 3 millimeters, so under D1 as seen here, click 3 and click enter. Now there will be no draft angle here, so nothing, so deselect and click OK. And we got the head of our screw. Now we're gonna make the screw the hole or the head. So now go to the front, go to extruded cut, select the front. For this, we're gonna do another center rectangle. It's gonna go from here out to here. Now we're gonna dimension the bottom. And that's gonna be 2. And that doesn't look right. But for now, let's keep it, and you'll see why. You know what, let's cancel, because that has not worked the way we want it. So we gotta actually exit for now. With that canceled, go back into here and edit the sketch. And we gotta set this now to 8. So go into here, delete all other dimensions, and set to 8. Now that's better. So click OK, and exit the sketch. Now go to here, go to Edit Sketch, make sure that's still the same dimension. Now I exit Sketch, go to Extrude Cut, select your rectangle. Now this is going to be a millimeter. So now go to 1, click enter. So that's not working exactly right. So we'll have to make an edit to our sketch. So close that. Go to edit feature, or edit sketch, sorry. And you see here, that coincident, delete that, and now close out. Now go to Smart Dimension, select here, and that's going to become just 7. Alright, now that's not quite right, so let's go to 7.25. Or 7.2. That's much better, so click OK, exit sketch. Now go back into Extrude Cut. Again, select your part. Make sure it's 1 though, not 3, and click OK. Now that's working. Now we're going to fillet the edges, so go to Fillet, select the edge, change the radius to 1. On there, there'll be 1 on the other side too. So now click OK. And there's the head of your screw. Now we gotta create the bottom. So on the underside, select the bottom, go to Extrude Boss Base. I'm going to create a circle, and this will be 3.5. Click circle in the center. Make it Smart Dimension it to 3.5. Click enter and click OK. Now exit sketch and set this to 15. And actually, though we're going to make a cone feature on the end, so let's not. Let's set it to 13. And click OK. Now we're going to do another extrude boss base, and that'll be on the end of here. And basically we're just going to make a circle from here out matching that. Click OK, exit sketch, and we're going to use a specialty feature. Now this will be 2, and we are going to use the drafting. And what this does is it edits how angled your mark is. And we're going to set so it actually comes to a point. And that, for us, is at 45 degrees. And click OK. And there you go. You've got an edge. Now you may notice we're not gonna actually make the rivet, and that's because usually for this we just use a simplified form. Now with that done, save it as screw. Now minimize it and go to New, Assembly. Okay. Again, pin down the insert parts and add your screw your switch plate, and another screw. And click OK. Now go to Mate and select the inner, and select here the outer, the actual rotate, the actual circular bit, and the inner circular bit on your switch plate. That will be a concentric mate, meaning they're on the same plate. Now click OK for there, and then go on to the other side and select here and on the switch plate. Click OK. Now, go to this secondary screws plane, select the right plane of that, alright, never mind, because that is already set. So deselect both of those planes, because we're good. And now do the same for the other screw. Click OK. Now then select the bottom plane again, and there, click OK. Now with that good, click OK to exit out, and save it as Switch Plate Assembly. Save all. Now, we already did the CD case, we did that last lesson, so that we can leave. But first, close down your other parts. Now, somewhere saved on your computers are the claw pieces. So go to lesson 4 for me, and go to the claw. And we want to open up all those parts. So you can select them all and let it load. Now with everything, go to New, Assembly, OK. Now for this, let's start with the center post. That's what's going to create the entire claw. And actually, we forgot to put the pin in. Then select one claw, one collar, one connecting rod, one pin long, one pin medium, and one pin short. And click OK. Now go into Mate. We'll start by making a concentric mate between the two circular parts. See how it allows it to move along the rod, but not side to side. Okay, then take the smooth edge here. Actually, let's start by doing another concentric mate. And between there. Flip mate alignment though, so then it faces like it as shown. I'll flip it around to the other side. Make a coincident mate between those two edges. Click OK. Now see how this part's allowed to move, but it's not allowed to go off its edge. Now to do this then, we need to put in a pin. Now first, let's try the long pin. Let's do a concentric mate between here and here. And flip mate alignments. Now click OK. Flip around to the other side. Make a coincident mate between here and here. Let's see. So, see, off the first try, it fits. For that mate, click OK. And it's good. Now, do a concentric mate between this part of the claw, again a circular, and down here. Now this one we do not want a flip mate alignment, so just click OK. Now for here, select that plane, actually deselect the edge. If you accidentally hit that, make sure you get both planes and click OK. Now we'll try the medium pin. So select there, and again the circular, and click OK. Now we actually made an error. So again, select that flip mate alignment. Click OK up top. And then select the interface here, again with the face here. Check to make sure it goes through properly, and then click OK. Lastly, now make a concentric mate between here and here. That's good. Now for that, we don't need a coincident mate because it already is. And then lastly, just add the pin. Oh, it's facing already the correct way, so click OK. And then select the two plane or faces again. And click OK. Now click OK to exit out. And to finish the other two off, we're going to create a pattern. To do that, go to the circular component pattern or linear component pattern, select components to pattern, select the claw, the pins, and the connecting arm. And then along parameters, actually, first we need to add the temporary axis. Go to View, real quick, add temporary axes, and select that. And then set the angle to 120. And add one more. Now that's good. So click OK. And we got ourselves a claw. Turn off the temporary axes again. And then save it as claw. Of course, we would normally use your last name, so just remember that. And then check out how it moves. Make sure everything is connected properly. And then click OK. Rebuild. And close out. Now you have finished the lesson. As you should.